Black Clover episode 137. Now, this episode was quite different to say the least. It begins with Charmy preparing meals for the Black Bulls, telling them that they're going to have their mana enhanced. Of course, Asta wants to try this meal also, despite not having any mana, and he doesn't exactly get his mana enhanced, but you know, he is the main character of the series, so we have to have some screen time with him for the most part. So they end up not getting their mana enhanced, and instead they end up going out of control. I don't really know how I feel about this part, because it's like, it kind of reminded me of the beginning whenever Noelle couldn't control her mana, and I saw her in that state again, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then I guess it's okay, because Luck and Magna also couldn't control their mana after they ate that meal. I don't really know why, but I found it kind of cool that they touched on the fact that Charmy's meals can increase your mana, hypothetically at least. Now, we do know that they can have their mana replenished, because we've seen it done before. Whenever the Black Bulls are out of mana and they eat some of Charmy's cooking, then they can replenish some of their mana that they lost. Now, we know that Charmy takes her cooking pretty seriously, and she's visibly upset at the fact that her cooking caused the Black Bulls to go out of control. So what Charmy ends up doing is going to the capital, and she meets up with Jamo, and she asks him to pretty much train her to cook better so her food can actually enhance the squad members' mana. Now, Jamo decides to take her under his wing, and he trains her. She has to go get some special ingredients that apparently almost cost her her life, which I find kind of hard to believe, because we all know that Charmy is highly overpowered from what we have seen so far. And she ends up getting these ingredients. Then they go back to the Black Bulls hideout and pretty much prepare the meal for the Black Bulls to enhance their mana. Now, pretty much no one knows who Jamo is, and I'll touch on who he is for a quick second. Basically, if you guys forgot, he was the supposed best cook in the Clover Kingdom, and he was there during the Eye of the Midnight Sun's attack. He was pretty much preparing the food for the banquet or whatever. And yeah, pretty much everybody forgot his name. I think it's pretty funny. Yami doesn't care, bro. Yami's like, who is this guy? We all know Yami doesn't care. And the food ends up coming alive. I was kind of like, what am I watching at that point? And they end up having to eat the food to stop their mana from being drained. And they all get like kind of stuffed from the food. And Asta, we know he's kind of blunt. He goes on and he says like, the meal is pretty much missing what normally makes Charmy's meals special. In Asta's words, pretty much he says that it was missing the desire to make people eating it happy. So pretty much he's saying like, you made it just to enhance people's mana, but you didn't have their happiness in mind. So I guess that's the lesson of the first part of the episode. Let me know what you guys think of the first part. But yeah, there's also a second part of the episode that revolves around Gordon. And Gordon pretty much, he's feeling insecure as always. For some reason, Gordon's always insecure. I guess that's like a personality trait of his. And he was creeping me out, man. This episode, Gordon was creeping me out. Sometimes like he just creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And he pretty much is insecure about his power, and he doesn't think he's strong enough to defeat the devil. So what he does is he recalls that Marileona went to the strong magic zone to get stronger, which he did, and he decides that that's probably going to be too tough for him, so a forest is going to suffice for his training that he needs to be done. Now, he ends up running into a magical beast, and it's giving him quite a fight, to say the least. And I was quite surprised, because I typically think that the Black Bulls are one of the stronger squads, so I'm like, why can't Gordon take on this small magical beast? But it turns out that the magical beasts are immune to his magic, so instead what he has to do is befriend the beasts, and that's exactly what he does. Now, he does these creepy things with the dolls and stuff. He left a note for the Black Bulls to find, and he said, don't come looking after him. He thinks that the Black Bulls are going to come and save him, which they never do. I thought that was actually kind of sad, I'm not going to lie. But it does make sense with the Black Bulls. They're kind of always just getting into some shenanigans. And the Black Bulls actually ended up going to eat at a restaurant. They were causing quite the ruckus. and they always seem to stand out, and they really don't care what other people think. Now, Gordon ends up going back to the hideout and realizing they're not there, and he thinks that they went to go save him, and in fact they're just eating food somewhere. So he went to go look for them, and yeah, they're just eating, having a good time. This episode was decent. It was okay. Probably, if I had to be really critical, I would say it's mid-tier. Nothing too special or anything like that. If you're rewatching the anime, you might want to watch this episode again. You might not. It's kind of up to you. This episode was okay to me. I had some enjoyment out of it, and nothing really too serious. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeoXO, and I'm out.